everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. This is Sumi from the Mochi Cloud, and if it's your first time joining, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you've seen my other videos, thank you for coming back. Today I decided to give you a really high-level overview of how I plan my weekly sections in my Hobonichi Cousin. And I started recording, and I'm not able to record and write at the same time, so I figured that I will split this video into a few sections, show you how I do the planning, and then give you a walkthrough of how everything looks at the end of the week. We may be able to accomplish 90% of what we plan. We may not be able to even accomplish 50%. So this video would be, spanned out in the course of this entire week, but you will see it in one whole section. So see you soon. So it's a little later in the day on Monday, and I have set up my first few sections of the weeklies. And before I get into how I plan this out, let me tell you what happened for me to lead to this kind of planning mechanism in my weeklies. So if you don't know, I started using the Hobonichi Techo as a planning system earlier this year in July. And July was when I purchased this book, which is the Avec, which is a half version. And I wanted to try out something that, generally people tend to use when using their weekly sections, which is a way to time block events of the day. And while it worked for me, so it started off, like you can see, I would, time block things that I need to do. And that's one of the ways to use this weekly section, because if you can see, the weeklies have timed, hourly sections right here on the left side. So it's kind of like a calendar. Now, it might work for a lot of people, and I started realizing that it doesn't work for me because I tend to work from home. I don't have a very strict schedule, and I know that I would have lunch at probably 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and I didn't feel the need to write that down. And I also didn't feel the need to put in things that I would plan and write in my dailies as well. So I felt like I was doing double the job. And another thing that happened along the way as I started doing or mimicking this kind of weekly layout is I would tend to put off planning in the weekly until, the week is already done. So maybe on the 22nd, I would realize that, I did all of this. So I did all of this based on my daily, so I would go back and write it in just so that I can have this page filled out. And I felt like I was doing double the work for something that was not even working for me. And towards the end, I would, as more weeks progressed, I realized that this thing is not working for me. And you can see me writing, this isn't working. So just this way of time blocking can be really efficient if you're somebody who has to adhere to strict schedules, or if you have a work meeting that you need to put down in your planner. But I typically don't use it as a calendar. If I have something specific that needs my attention at this time of the day, I would just put it in my Google Calendar. So it was not working for me. And that's when you can see here, I just didn't write anything at all. And I started going through YouTube and seeing how some people spend or fill out their weeklies, different versions of it. And most of it kind of fit into this, layout, which is time blocking. But then I stumbled upon Sterling Inc., Catherine from Sterling Inc., and she described a method which I kind of related to a lot, because I need to know from a high-level standpoint what I need to accomplish in a week so that I can plan for maybe a upcoming release of my shop. And that's when it started making sense. And I will try linking her video, and she explains this in a lot of depth and it goes back to how you start planning for the year and how you break down your yearly, monthly goals. And I started using that kind of layout for my planning as well. And I really like it. And I think it is obviously a work in progress. You cannot figure out if something works until you see and incorporate it for a couple of weeks. But so far I'm liking it. I tried doing this for 3 weeks and I think it is working. So now on to the way that I plan. So let's say I have, I own a small shop, and one of the things that I have to do is start preparing for new releases. And that's where this kind of planning, I think, works for me. And what I try to do is on this side, on the left side of the weekly, I just draw out, or I just write down everything that I need from a, category standpoint that I need to accomplish. So filming, editing, drawing, Etsy listings, Shopify, Instagram, using my silhouette machine, and including planning and other stuff in my personal life. I just categorize it, and I start drawing some lines. So I'm not sure if you can see, there is a line here on the 20th mark, and I've kept a separate line here on the reading list as well. But what I try to do is I look at it from a weekly/monthly perspective to see what I want to accomplish. Let's say I have a release on the 11th of September. So what do I want to accomplish in the 11th that I can do on the week prior to the 11th? And most of that includes figuring out what I plan to release for the Mochi Cloud, which is my shop, the time I need to spend drawing it, rendering it, and making it the entire thing. And then the week after, I can spend time for photographing my products and putting it up on my website and my Etsy store. So that's like a very high level view of what goes on in like a shop week or shop month. So and this also includes other kind of things such as filming your social media content. So if you're drawing something out, like I tend to doodle a bunch in my dailies when I don't have stuff to write in. So I draw stuff, and when I draw, I think, okay, I can probably film it because I can use it as an IG reel or a TikTok. So a lot of it includes filming and planning and editing as well. So the high level categories are written out here on the left, and I try to take most of the work that I planned for the entire week and put it for the first couple of days, and maybe I will spread it out on the third day as well. And this allows me to see how much work I can get done. And it's not that I would be able to get all of these items done in this day, and the same goes for this particular day as well. But I also tend to write what I want to accomplish on which day. So for now, my schedule is I like to upload one video on YouTube, which is a talk through video on YouTube on the Tuesday or maybe Monday night. So I have a highlighted section here saying that this is the YouTube upload. So, and this color does not match with the color code here, but it means that in order for me to do this, I need to make sure that some of these items on this side needs to get completed on this day, or else I won't meet the target on this one. On the 31st, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's highlighted in red. It says budget, because I need to budget for my Hobonichi purchase that's supposed to happen on the 31st of August. And I need to make sure that I have enough to cover for the purchase that I'm going to do on this day. So I need to make sure that this thing happens in the morning of the 31st. And I also tend to put two sections where towards the end of the day on Tuesday and towards the end of the day on Thursday, I keep a checkpoint for migrating, meaning I would now take a look at the end of the day on Tuesday, the 30th, and see what I was not able to accomplish in these 2 days, and then migrate those tasks over the next days. And this will help me figure out what are the things that are taking me more time. So I tend to spend a lot of time, if at all, I tend to spend time editing, or photography is one thing that I know will take a long time for me because it's also dependent on the weather and I will have to plan it out accordingly. So those are the two sections here. And this faint line that you see here that I've drawn is for any notes that I need to write. And this is something that I'm trying to incorporate this week. Any notes that I need to write at the end of the day on 29th or even 30th or any of the following days to say, what are the things that I feel could have been better, or what are the things that's making me preventing me from doing some of these tasks, and I try to work on that. And it's not necessary that I have to put something in here, but it's there for any kind of notes. And this red circle that you see here that is not filled in is an indication that I'm going to get my periods this day. So if I know that I have a week where my periods are going to start, I tend to keep things around those days a little light because I tend to be a little scatterbrained and everything that goes along with it. So my indication is a circle which is not filled in is an expected period, and when I do get my period, I just create a red circle. It might not be like this, but yeah, there you go. So this is another indication that this was the day I was supposed to get my period, but this is the day that I got the period. So that's an one overview, and I do have one section right here that says reading list, because that's the one thing that I tend to do every single day is read something, and most of the time it is manga. So if you see the previous week, I have been catching up on Inuyasha, which is the second time I'm reading it. And if there are days that I am catching up on an ongoing series, I will just put that as well. So, and this is just for me to track what I have been reading. I tend to this is my self-care. That's the overview. So I keep this section just for anything that I need to read that day. And so this is the first section. None of these tasks are done. I will take a checkpoint at the end of the 30th to see where we are, and I will strike out things or circle things and then plan to migrate the items for the upcoming days of the following week. So yeah, so I will see you on the 30th evening. Hello, welcome back. It's the night of the 31st. It's close to 11 p.m. right now. I did not migrate on Tuesday, so here we are. All right, so from where we left off, I just mentioned that we will perform these tasks whatever we can and then migrate it on the Tuesday, which obviously did not happen. So we're now going to strike off the things that we have done and circle the ones that have not been completed, and then move them around in the next week and reassess, the kind of priorities that I want to do for the week as an overall goal, probably. So I did not mention this in the earlier segment, but the color codes are you know, for example, I have given a yellow color code here for filming, so everything related to filming is in yellow throughout, and I do this with the Kuretake Zig Clean color dots, and I have a video showing the unboxing and the swatching of these, so it's much more easier for me to use this and highlight. You don't necessarily need this, you can just use a pencil or a marker, whatever you have. So yeah, so we're gonna strike off the things now and see what we have completed and take a look at what we are yet to do. Okay, so I have migrated most of the things, and I probably would need to reassess some of the items. I think I need to do this one as well. Yeah, maybe here. So the only thing left for us now is to color code. So how I've done this is everything that has been completed, and it's not particularly that very day. So since we are on the evening of the 31st, I'm looking at everything that was in my schedule for the 31st to see whether I've completed it or not. So I might have, you know, the weekly that I'm filming is actually happening today. So I'm still gonna strike it off because, you know, we are right before migrating. So anything that has been completed, we draw a line on that, and anything that has not been completed, we circle those. So I have 4 items that I could not complete, and there are some notes that I've taken for myself for references as well. And I have rearranged those tasks throughout. Actually, I have not completed this either, which is why I moved it here. So we have moved the ones, circled the ones that have not been completed, and we have moved them throughout the week. So we have enough time to complete it for the upcoming days. And maybe I might not even be able to do all of this. So I do have a lot of filming schedule, so I need to put the yellow here. So here is one dot and the other dot is here. And anything personal gets this color code, which is, I think it's called the ocean. Yeah, so this is ocean. I did not do this. I might not even do that. This is also the ocean color. And I need to run my silhouette machine to make backing cards, which need to go in the denim color, or I think, yeah, it was the denim color that I used. So there you go. And I might need to do this, the themochicloud anniversary prep plan, in the span of 2 days. So I'm gonna just add it for Friday and Saturday. So that goes per my agenda. It's the lilac color. So yeah, and I've added the reading list. I'm actually planning to read Inuyasha again today, so I'm gonna write that in as well. So this is what we've read for the 3 days. I might read something else as well. So that's so far how it looks. I think I may be able to do some of these tasks unless I get completely scatterbrained and forget about all of my plans. I did, side note, and I did get most of the things that I wanted for the Hobonichi reveal, so, but I could not buy or purchase one thing, so I am still a little salty about that. So if I sound demotivated, that's probably why. it is so. So, all right, I will catch you maybe at the end of Friday because I don't think we're gonna migrate on this day. Okay, it is not Friday, it's actually Sunday afternoon, and I have been procrastinating, not gonna lie. So I did get my periods on Saturday, so I'm just gonna color it in with a red marker. And honestly, I have not been doing most of the stuff that I was planning to do. And I'm just trying to take it a little slow this week as well. But I'm gonna strike off things that I did complete, which is I have done the filming of the August flip through, did a little bit of online shopping for an upcoming event, and I have yet to do this, and I have yet to do this, which means I have yet to do this as well. So, and I kind of did half of this, so I'm just gonna close off this one, and for the next week I will just make sure that I have these as my priority items. So yeah, honestly, if I were to look back, I don't think it has been a very productive week for me compared to my previous weeks. I did get quite a lot done this week, so there are some things that I probably need to take away from it. And I'll just fill out my reading list as well. I kept reading Inuyasha, and I actually picked up a manga called Kanai-kun. It's actually a one-shot, so I actually finished reading it. It's pretty good. And yeah, I haven't done anything else, so that's how a typical week looks like for me. I personally would have wanted to get more done, but it is what it is, and I try to not be too hard on myself sometimes, because that can go sideways. So overall, I would say maybe 70% of what I was targeting to get things done this week is what I've completed, and that seems like a decent enough target for me for now. I think I will need to pick up the pace probably next week because I plan to have a release on the 17th, and it's actually my shop anniversary, 1 year into my shop, so I do want to plan a little bit better for that. So that's how it is, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know how you plan your weeklies. Are you trying to figure out a new system other than just time blocking in your Hobonichi or any other planner for that matter? I'm always on the meant to try out new ways, because this is a learning process, and you will never know what actually fits your needs unless you try it out. So yeah, let me know, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.